Welcome to the Databricks Free Edition series, and this is video number 19. If you haven't watched the previous videos, I highly recommend you to go and watch the earlier ones. In this video, I want to cover the Databricks CLI. You can go to the UI, right? This is the UI, and from the UI, you can do many things. But the CLI helps you connect to the Databricks workspace. The main idea of this video is I will show you how you can install Databricks CLI in your command line interface and interact with your Databricks account. And we will run some commands there. I will also show you from the UI itself, there is a way to use the terminals. Let's go through that in this video. But before that, let's first understand what is Databricks CLI. The definition here is quite explanatory. So let's just read this one. It says the Databricks CLI command line interface allows you to interact with the Databricks platform from your terminal or automation script. You can run Databricks CLI commands from within your Databricks workspace using the web terminal. I will show you that. I will provide the link in the description. There are different ways you can interact with it. But in this video, as I mentioned you, I will show you how you can install it in your local machine first. And later we go to the UI. I will just go all the way down here. Here is the link. It says install or update your Databricks CLI. So I will click this one. You can see the steps based on your machine. There is Linux, Mac OS, Windows, and so on. Please choose the one where you want to install. I am using Mac OS. So I'm going to use Homebrew for this. Now let me open my terminal. This is the terminal. So what I will do here is just run Databricks-V. And it shows commands are not found, right? I need to install it. I will just copy this command from the documentation. I will go to the terminal and do Control-V. I'm going to use Brew to install this. But you can just use whichever platform you want. As I mentioned there, it will be installed. As you can see here, now it is installed. Now if I do Databricks-V, it will be showing here the Databricks CLI version 0.278 is being installed in my local machine. This documentation, as it is mentioning here also, this information applies to Databricks CLI version 0.205. And if I go here, it is 0.278. That means that we are in that range. What do you do once you install it? Because installing it, you can just go here now and type, for example, Databricks, and you can just do -h, which is the help. It will show you all sorts of commands here. You can see there are many things that we can do from the CLI itself, but without connecting this to the Databricks account, you don't get anything. For example, if I type here Databricks catalogs list, it will not show me anything because there is no such file called Databricks. Please create one with Databricks configure and so on. There are many ways you can connect to your Databricks, but we will be using some other tools. Let me go to the UI. If I scroll a little bit down, as you can see, there are different ways. What I will do here is I will go to the earlier URL. I will click this Databricks CLI. I will go all the way down and there is this authentication for the Databricks CLI. Maybe I will open this in new tab so it's easier to navigate, right? Okay, so I'm here. I will show you one way of doing it, as it is also mentioned from different places. There are different ways you can do it. This is one way how you can do it. You can directly go and create .Databricks CFG and then provide your informations there. But I will show you one good way how you can do this. You need to have this website. You need to be logged in because it will be using this different method to log in. If I go here, I will do this step here. It says here Databricks auth login host, and you need to provide your workspace URL, right? And it will ask us to create the profile, and we will provide the profile once we do that. For this, we need this workspace URL. What is the URL? Go to your Databricks. On the top, you will see your URL where the Databricks is being run. And now I will go to the terminal. What is it? Databricks auth login host, right? I will go here. I will run here Databricks auth login host, right? just host. I have already done this before to test myself. I will just enter. Now it is asking me to provide the profile name. It will create by default, but you can also provide something. For example, I can say YouTube Databricks. Anything, right? I will run enter. Now what it does now, you can see here, it opens and it says authenticated because it went to my URL, which is being opened. Now you can see there is documentation, or if I go into this one, this is the same website that is running these Databricks, right? That is how it authenticated here. And now if I go again to the terminal, it can be, for example, you can, what I did, I have this shortcut here, CD takes you to the home, right? And if I do ls, I can do ls-lia, and here you can see I have this Databricks CFG created. Now what I can do cat dot Databricks CFG, and you can see here, now the default was there, right? Fallback, and now this is the new profile name that I provided, right? And there is this host, and now this is the auth type Databricks CLI, because I use CLI to do this. It is now auth CLI. Now if I run the same command that I did before, this Databricks catalogs list, if I run this, now you can see it lists all the catalogs that I have in my UI. For example, now if I show you from here, if I go to catalog, let me open this here. You can see there is 5 different catalogs, and if I go to my terminal, there is also 5 different catalogs. That means now we are connected to Databricks, and all different things what you want to do can be listed. For example, if you want to do something, but instead of just speaking myself, I'll go to the documentations here, and there is a basic uses for the Databricks CLI or the Databricks CLI commands. If I open this one, this is the basic uses for Databricks CLI. You can see here, you can do Databricks clustered list. But if I do this, because we don't have the cluster running, right? If I just do Databricks clusters list, it will not show anything because in the free version of Databricks, there is serverless one list. There is no cluster, but if you have the cluster there, it will be showing the ID, name, state, and all sorts of things. There is this one, and if I go to this one, let me go this last one. If I go here, there are other many things also, right? Databricks affairs, Databricks Git credentials, repos, secrets, workspace, cluster policies, and there are different command line interface CLI commands here. You can just go here and do all sorts of things. For example, if you want to know auth, it will provide me all different things. But instead of going in the documentation page, you can already do also from here. For example, I was in the auth, right? First, I can do Databricks -h. So it will show me all the commands. From here, you can see different things. There is account, API, and configure. For example, if you want to know something related to Databricks completion, you can just do Databricks completion -h. So it will give you the help. You can see generate the auto completion script for Databricks, and there are different available commands. You can just go here and do all sorts of things. The main idea of this video was to show you how you can connect it and run some commands, right? Now the next thing, how to do the same thing from the web interface itself. We don't need to install Databricks CLI because it's already installed there. We don't need to configure this login authenticate because it's already in the web interface. I will go to the UI. Let me go to the UI Free Edition here. But just by going in the UI, you will not see where is that, right? What you can do is go to this plus and create a notebook here. If you create a notebook, you can see here on the bottom, there are 3 different things. This is this Python code assistant. There is this terminal. If I click this one, it says requires cluster to be attached. Without cluster also, it will not, but we have the serverless cluster, right? If I go here, there is the serverless cluster. I will just attach to this. Once this notebook is attached to the serverless cluster, now you can see the terminal, preparing the web terminal, and it will be shown here. Okay, this is the web terminal. Now you can just run things. For example, you can just do Databricks -h or -help, anything. You can say everything is there. And you can do Databricks, the same thing we did, right? List. It will list all the catalogs here. So if you want to do something in the CLI from the web interface, you can just go here and do stuffs. But one thing what you need to be careful is if you are using the free edition, this fine because you are the admin here, you can do all sorts of things. But if you are using your official company's Databricks, it might not be shown here because the admin might have disabled that. Please, if you don't see the terminal, contact your admin. In some cases, there is no need of providing the terminal because if you don't know how terminal works, it might cause more harm than good because you can just go there and write something, it might destroy some things. So yeah, I hope you learned something new today because now everything, not everything, but most of the things you need to do from the CLI. For example, in Databricks, if you want to go from the UI perspective, then you don't need it, right? As in the documentation, it was shown that we need to do many other different things also from the CLI. If you want to do it programmatically, having the knowledge of CLI and configuring the CLI is also essential. Yeah, that was all for this video. I hope you learned something new. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.